Hello, everyone. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Trying to do something real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on. Put this away to charge. Here you guys. Okay, and I am back. Hello. Oh, fuck. Oh. All right. Hi. Hello, person watching. How you doing? Anything you want to talk about? Any music you been listening? Oh, hey, Rudy. How's it going? What you been listening to recently? Oh, so by the way, the Black Thought album. I don't know if you guys know who that is, and it's also a collaboration with Danger Mouse, who's a producer, not a rapper. Black Thought is a member of of the Roots, which is a really influential, really great hip hop group from the '90s, and I think they're. If you ever seen, I don't really watch Jimmy Fallon, but they're like They're the trio that the band in Jimmy Fallon's show, basically. But Black Thought has been done a couple solo EPs that were pretty good. And I wouldn't say this in the Roots has a really great album called Things Fall Apart. And I wouldn't say this new Black Thought album is as good as Things Fall Apart, but I still think it's really great. I'd say it's probably the second or third best Roots album. If it was a Roots album, I'd probably say. But it's probably the best thing Danger Mouse has done, been a part of. So by far, Danger Mouse also did a album with MF Doom called what is it called? Like The Mouse and the Mask. Um, The Mouse and the Mask is the name of it, and hold on one second. And it was pretty good. I'd give that one an 8, but I think that was his best release for a while. And all the songs are about Adult Swim, basically. Hello, person watching. Anything you want to talk about? Is that Rudy? Anything you want to talk about? Hey, Rudy. He also produced Demon Days. Oh, he did? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Huh. I think Jay Dilla actually produced or had some production in Things Fall Apart, I think. But that's interesting. Huh. Let me look that up. That's actually, I mean, that's everyone's favorite Girls album, pretty much, is Demon Days. My favorite Girls song, though, is probably Do Your Thing, which didn't appear on an album. Oh, yeah, he did, huh? It's interesting. Huh. I think he also, Danger Mouse, he also did that. I guess the most well-known thing he did was that one album he did with, I think it was CeeLo Green, I think, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Gnarls Barkley, and they had that song Crazy. That was actually a commercial success, I think. I think I'm crazy. Oh, I'm crazy. Whatever it is. Yeah, that's. Yeah, that's a really good song. It's crazy. Oh, and they dressed up like a Clockwork Orange, looks like. So what else do you want to talk about? Anything new you've been listening to? Anything like that? Any movies you've seen? Anything like that, huh? I listened to the Chat Pile album. Oh, cool. What do you think of it? What do you think of it? That's one of my favorite albums of the year so far. Probably my third favorite, I had to say. What do you think of it? It's good. That's good. What's your favorite album you listened to this year? Would you probably say? What was your favorite song off of it? My favorite was probably the last one, the Grimace Smoking Weed.jpg. And then let's see what other songs did I like. I like the first song, Slaughterhouse. And I like the Tropical Beaches Incorporated. So hold on, let me look at the track list again. Hold on. Oh, and also Better Call Saul ended. I have to say that. It's the last episode came out. Yeah, Anywhere, that's another song I like, yeah. I think Anywhere. Oh, that's a good. Yeah, it's a pretty good song. It's one of my favorites off the album. They kind of remind me a bit of a Acid Bath a bit, and then also some people have kind of compared them to Daughters, which I can kind of see, but they kind of remind me more a bit of Acid Bath or maybe Jesus Lizard, which I guess Daughters is really, really influenced by Jesus Lizard, but I don't know if I kind of maybe want to distance myself a bit from Daughters, as I recently learned that the vocalist is a freaking piece of shit because um, he abused Lingua Ignota, who's a musician I really, really like, and I think it's just really sad because she's been through a lot of that stuff, so it sucks. It's crushing. So I gotta take that. I gotta take that Daughter's album off my wall when I get home, probably. I don't want that to be in the background if he did something like that. So, but yeah, that's yeah, that new album they did is really good, I think. And they also have some EPs that are pretty good too. The second one they did, "Remove Your Skin, Please." I think that one's really good. I think I don't think it's as good as their new album though, but it's still pretty good. Hello, other person watching. No, they're gone. You ever listened to The Roots, by the way, or the new Black Thought album since Danger Mouse produced it? It's not really experimental or anything like that, but it has some really good lyricism and some pretty interesting themes and good production and all that stuff. You should go ahead and listen to it, man. It's pretty good. It's one of my favorites of the year. I think it's really good. Yeah, you should go ahead and listen to it, man. If you get the chance. Let me think of some other albums you might like. They're recent, they're metal or heavier albums. I think. I don't know. Maybe you've heard the new that Bring Me the Horizon EP from 2020, Post Human Survival Horror. I don't know if I'd recommend that, but I think that EP is really good. I think really surprised me how much I like that. I think something else. I think. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind at the moment. Some older groups. I don't know. I think. I don't know. Well, I guess since I mentioned Massive If you ever listened, if you've ever heard of them, you might want to check them out. They're pretty good. And then I don't know. They have a really good album called "When the Kite String Pops." It's pretty good. Anything you seen recently? Any movies? Any music? Anything like that? Hey, you watch Better Call Saul? What do you think of the ending? Just don't spoil anything, though. I think I remember listening to Bring Me the Horizon EP. Yeah, it's pretty good. I thought it was really good. It really surprised me how good it was. I think it's one of the best metal releases in a really long time. I think. I think it's by far the best thing they've ever done. I originally wasn't like insanely huge on them, but I thought their Step Eternal album was decent though. I saw the Better Call Saul ending. Oh, you did? Yeah, it's interesting. Don't spoil anything though. People haven't seen it. But honestly, I feel like Better Call Saul, I feel like, is now my new favorite show of all time. I think it's surpassed Evangelion, which I didn't think would happen, but it's a really, really good show. I think it's even better than Breaking Bad. I think personally, it's a really good show. It's probably really rare that a prequel is better than the previous thing, but it's just because I like Saul so much. Saul's my favorite character in the show by far. So do you prefer Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad? I think Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's fine. Breaking Bad's amazing too. Breaking Bad's also an insanely good show. One of my favorite shows too. But I don't know. I feel like Better Call Saul. I think the reason I prefer Better Call Saul is because I think Better Call Saul is well, for one, is because I really like the Saul Goodman character, but also I don't know those scams that they do. I feel like it's a lot smarter than Breaking Bad is. The little cons and all this stuff, the way he finds his way out of things are always just super interesting. They're always so creative, and they never go the way I expect, but they're always just so and so just I don't know. They're just I just really really love the con aspect of it and all this other stuff. I think I just love that the way he smuggles his way out of things by using his I don't know using his manipulation skills and all that stuff. That is just really really interesting and cool. And I feel like Better Call Saul has a lot more likable characters. And like I mentioned, it's a lot smarter. Like I remember one thing really thought was interesting is I remember when the show started, I really hated Howard, and then it's like how why is Howard becoming such a likable character? Why do I like him all this? Why do I think he's so cool all of a sudden? And I don't know. It's just interesting how it can make your mind turn on all these characters and all this stuff is another thing I think is really cool. But yeah, I feel like it's more mature. I feel like it's smarter. It has more likable characters, and it's just honestly just feels like something that hasn't ever been done before. It's kind of like a world of its own. Just a masterpiece. I think it's really really great. I got excited for every single episode that came out, and it's so entertaining to watch. I love it. So. But Breaking Bad's really good too. It's also really clever and smart. But there are a lot of characters in Breaking Bad that were very unlikable, I think. But there were a lot that were really likable, though. Mm-hmm. Any albums that you could recommend me to listen to? You think? Oh, oops, my bad. Okay, so some albums I can recommend you to listen to. Let me think. Hmm. I guess since you like Demon Days by Gorillaz, I recommend the album Mezzanine by Massive Attack. You probably have heard that. I don't know, but I don't know if you have. But it's trip hop, and trip hop is a style that Gorillaz have worked with a lot and all that stuff. Or maybe Dummy by Portishead's another really good trip hop album. And Mezzanine kind of has a bit of a more rock oriented sound though, and it has a bit of more industrial elements too. It's a bit heavier. I prefer Mezzanine to Massive Attack. They're both considered like glory, like the golden albums of trip hop kind of. But let's see other albums. Um, hmm. Maybe California by Mr. Bungle is a very, very unique sounding album with very, very wide range of different genres associated with it. Is Mr. Bungle, when they kind of started out, they were kind of like they've always been a genre fusion crazy group. But when they started, they were kind of more of a metal group and kind of oriented on some funk metal and humor and all this really, really weird noises and really, really weird sounds. It's founded by Mike Patton. He's most well known for his work with Faith No More, which is a funk metal alternative metal band. Well, just alternative, not really funk metal. But anyways, um, but their other album, Disco Volante, was a lot more experimental and didn't really have a lot of metal, but had a bit of it. But it's also kind of had elements of electronic music, experimental music, some Arabic sounding music, and cartoon music, all this other stuff, which their other one did too. But their last album, and I think they've gotten better after every release until their most recent one, which I think is their weakest, the one they did. Like it was in 2020. It was like a recreation of a demo they did called something Easter Bunny. Like I forgot what it was, like the slasher Easter Bunny or whatever it was called. I don't remember. But the album from to the year 2000, I think. California is amazing. It's very influenced by the Beach Boys, I believe, and it's mostly art rock, experimental rock album. It has some elements of metal, tiny little bits of elements of electronic, and some parts of it. But it also has a lot of elements of surf rock, influence of surf rock, and there's elements of jazz, there's salsa, cocktail, all this other stuff. And these genres sound like they should just. It's so weird having all these weird different genres together, but it really, really works really, really well. And it's a very, very interesting album, very unique sounding. It's very it's crazy that they were able to have all these sounds get together and they sound like they belong there and they sound good together. They mix well, which is very, very interesting and very, very difficult to do, I'd probably say. But I think of some other groups. You probably listen to Primus, so I won't really recommend them. Let me think. Oh, one group you might like is a group called Vane.fm. They used to just be known by Vane. They're a metalcore band. They have a album that's kind of gross looking. Has like an eyeball getting cut up or something. It's kind of gross. But oh my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know why that happened, but Error Zone. That's the name of it. Yeah, that's a really good album. The cover is really, really disgusting though. But they're from, I think, Massachusetts. I forgot where from. But it's a metalcore album. Pretty influenced by new metal and alt metal and all this stuff, and it also has a lot of drum and bass stuff in between and all that stuff too. But what else? Let me think of some other stuff. Um, hmm. Maybe the group Meshuggah. They're from Georgia. They're a sludge metal band. They have a really good album called. Let's see, what is it? I've listened to a couple stuff by them, but just because if you I guess if you like to get into more sludge metal, since that's kind of what Jack Pile is and stuff like that. But what? What? Oh, not Meshuggah. I'm sorry. What are they called? Macedon. Macedon. I don't know why I said Meshuggah. My bad. Macedon. What's that called? Crack the Sky. That's the name of Crack the Sky. That album's really, really great. They're from Georgia. They're a sludge metal band. They're also kind of like progressive metal and all this other stuff. And another good sludge metal band, which is also industrial metal, which is one of my favorite metal bands, is Godflesh. You might like them. They have a really great album called Street Cleaner, and also their Godflesh EP is really good too. But they kind of use the drum machine, kind of like Big Black did, the punk group Big Black. They're also one of the first industrial metal bands. But Godflesh is really, really great. Really, really great. One of my favorite metal bands. And a classic group in industrial metal as well. And then, I think. Let me think. I don't know. Those are some I have at the moment for you. I recommend. I listen to Mezzanine. It's still one of my favorite albums of all time. Oh, that's cool. That's good. Yeah, Mezzanine is amazing. Actually, I've been listening to it a lot more recently. I think it's a 10 out of 10 in my eyes. Mezzanine's a really, really great album. Yeah, Mezzanine's great. Have you ever heard Portishead? That if he, I feel like I prefer their album Third. I think that's my favorite album they did. But Dummy is considered to be like their holy grail, like their masterpiece. Though is a lot of people consider Dummy to be their best, but I think I prefer Third. I think the Third isn't really trip hop; it's more like electronic, experimental rock kind of, and some industrial. It's a lot more experimental. Any other trip hop albums you've listened to that you like a lot? Oliver's album Perdition City is kind of like trip hop a bit. That's one of my favorite albums. Is Perdition City by Oliver. Oliver's one of my favorite bands. Hello, other person watching. How you doing? Huh. I think I could listen to Godflesh. Yeah, Godflesh is really good. They're one of my favorite metal bands. And I don't know if you've ever listened to Ministry. They're pretty good. They have an album called Psalm 69. That's pretty good. Yeah, Ministry is pretty good. They were actually a big influence on Nine Inch Nails, and they were also one of the first industrial metal bands too. But yeah, their album Psalm 69 is pretty good. Hello, there's 3 people watching. Hello, how you guys doing? 4 people, huh? 4 people are watching. People, huh? No, there's only 2. So anything you'd recommend me to listen to, Rudy? Hmm? Not really. Oh, that's fine. But any other shows you watched other than Better Call Saul? Anything else? Because I've been trying to get into some TV shows. I'm trying to watch Stranger Things right now, and I think it's decent. I wouldn't say it's something I probably watch a second time. I haven't really gotten insanely excited to watch a new episode every day, but I think it's fine. Like it's decent. I think it's creative and all that stuff. I got done watching House of Cards like a month ago, and I was so excited to watch House of Cards because I thought I would really like it because I really love political stuff, and I thought the concept sounded really interesting with this. But I don't know. I didn't like it. I really wish I did, but it was so boring to me. I couldn't get into it. It was just it like put me to sleep. I thought it was so boring. I just couldn't get into it, and I really wish I did, but I didn't. I don't know. I did not. I don't know. It was so boring, man, and I really wish I liked it, but I didn't. Oh well. But the one show I did watch that I really liked though, and I watched season 3. That came out. I don't know how long ago when season 3 was over, but The Boys. That show is amazing. The Boys. I was really surprised how good it was, and honestly, when I was returning to season 3, I was kind of thinking, well, I thought I liked the show, but then it's like season 3. I don't know. They really season 3 was the best season they did by far. That season 3 was so good. I couldn't believe how good season 3 was. I got excited to watch a new episode each day, man, when it came out. Every day I couldn't just wait. I just couldn't wait to watch it every day. I was counting down the days. The Boys is so good. That show's so good, man. It's so much better than that one show, Invincible, which I watched that too. I couldn't really get into it. I don't know. I'll probably watch the next season when it comes out, but personally, it wasn't for me, that show Invincible. But oh well, that's just me though. Hello, person watching. How are you doing? Is that ready though? I don't know. Any shows? What are some of your favorite shows, Ready? Hmm. Not really. Oh, I know that was. I already read that. That was for recommending me. Oh, yeah. Still people watching. Hello, other person watching. How you doing? Still people watching. Anything you want to talk about? Other person, and also Ready if you like saying yeah. There's three people watching. Hello, third person. How you doing? Hmm. I heard about The Boys, but I don't have Amazon Prime. That sucks. Yeah, The Boys is really, really good. It's a really good show. Hopefully you'll get the chance to watch it. It's really great. Even if superhero stuff might not be your thing, it's really good. It's really good. It's really, really interesting, really entertaining, and actually pretty funny show too. Which I don't know if you really think the superhero thing is kind of generic. I don't know if I think I like a lot of the Avengers movies. I'm not like insanely huge on them, but I do like. I think Infinity War is a really really great movie, but I don't know. They can be pretty generic, and a lot of them have very similar plots. It's not the same with The Boys. The Boys is doing something really really different. I think that's a really great show. I heard about. Oh no, I remember that. Hold on, let me go to the bathroom real quick. Be right back. Let me go pee. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. Here I am. Do you like the? Do you watch a lot of TV shows or not really? Just curious. Any band or group you dislike? Um, I do not like Five Finger Death Punch. See, I'm not too big on Greta Van Fleet. You said band or group, so I don't know if it just applies to that. There's tons of musicians that Blood on the Dance Floor is absolute garbage. Davi Vanity is a horrible, 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 horrible person for many reasons, but their music also sucks. There's a group called Dot Dot Curve that's music sucks too. Broken Side is pretty awful. I'm not too big on the group LMFAO. I don't really like the Chain Smokers. What do you say? What else? Uh, I'm not too big on the Eagles. I know a lot of people really, really love the Eagles, but I can't get into them personally. I don't like their music. I can't get into it. I just don't get them. Uh, I think. I think there's a rapper called what's his name? Trying to think of his name. What is it called? I think it's this Tom McDonald. That's his name. He's an awful, awful rapper. He's one of the worst rappers ever. And Hobson, I don't really like Hobson at all. I think his music sounds awful. Uh, yeah, I think, but he did have a few. He has a few decent songs, but I think his music's pretty bad. I think what else? Hmm, I think there's like a what are they called? I'm trying to think of the name. What are some other groups? I think um, what are the what are they called? Fall in Reverse is another group I really, really hate. I think they're awful. Is Fall in Reverse. I really don't like the group Hollywood Undead. I think they're really bad. Uh, Florida Georgia Line, I think is crap. Um, I think what else? Uh, I'm not too big on the group 303, but I do think that they're pretty cool guys. I do. I think they seem like they're pretty smart and all that stuff. I think they're pretty interesting, but I don't really like their music. But I think they are a tad bit influential. Like 100X, I think, is influenced by them. But they're personally, I don't really like their music though. But they seem like they're pretty cool guys in real life though. I would say Insane Clown Posse, but I feel like they're a bit overhated. They do have some really, really awful songs, but but um, recent Maroon 5. I think Maroon 5 was pretty decent when they started out, but I think they've just gotten worse after each release. They continue to be worse and worse and worse after each album. Like just when I think they can't make a worse album than what they did, they make an album even worse. But they had a really good album when they started. Well, not really good, but decent, pretty good album when they started called Ramona Flowers when it went under. I don't know, maybe it's not that. I don't know. It's something's name, something Flowers, but it was they also were named after that album too. They have the same name as that album before they were Maroon 5. I don't think what else was there. Doug Walker, nostalgia critic, who I used to watch all the time, all the time, all the time when I was younger, released one of the worst albums I've ever listened to. That parody of The Wall, Nostalgia Critic's The Wall. That album's so bad, unbelievably bad. And then Corey Feldman, that album he did, I had to listen to the album. What is it called? Like Angelic to the Core. That album's really bad. I think what else? Think of some other stuff. Some other groups. Let me think. Oh, and also Pitbull, I think, is pretty bad. I think Pitbull's music's pretty bad. And I'm not too big on Machine Gun Kelly either. Um, I really don't like what's that girl's name though? What's it called? Olivia Martinez, is that where? No, I'm sorry, that's not it. Hold on. I don't know why I thought of that. It's something like Melanie Martinez. Yeah, I don't like her music at all. I think her music's really bad. And then I think what's that one musician's name? Um, the one with the really, really annoying voice. What's that one called? Tones and I. That I really don't like her music. I think her voice is hot garbage. Her voice is one of the most annoying musical voices I've ever listened to. Like what else? Uh, let me think. There's like a metal band called Emure, I think is really, really bad too. And let's see what else. Let me think. Oh, and also Imagine Dragons sucks too. That's another group I really don't like is Imagine Dragons. And I would normally say Logic, but Logic actually made an album this year I thought was actually pretty good, I think. And Logic's actually a pretty cool guy, I think. But I thought his new album was actually pretty good. But Logic has a lot of really crappy albums too. But I thought his new album was really great. So I wouldn't say Logic. But I used to really not Logic, but like Logic. But I thought his new album was pretty good. And see what else. I don't know. I could probably go on and on and on. There's tons and tons of groups I don't like. But there's also a lot I do like. Oh, and I guess modern Eminem sucks too because Eminem did Marshall Mathers LP, which is great. Slim Shady LP, which is great. Eminem show that was pretty good, and then proceeded to drop crap after 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 crap. And yeah, unfortunately, that Marshall Mathers LP 2 was okay, but still not great. I think. I thought his album Encore was his worst for a really really long time until he dropped Revival, which was somehow even worse than Encore. I thought Encore was absolutely garbage, and that's actually when he started being bad. Was Encore, but Revival ended up being the worst thing he ever did by far, and one of the worst albums I've ever listened to in my life too. So. What about you? What are some groups or musicians that you dislike? I think I have two groups I dislike. What are they? And also another thing is also Ed Sheeran. I don't really like Ed Sheeran. That's another thing. I think his music's bad. Yeah. But one thing is you can dislike the music of someone and think that they're a pretty good person. Like if you don't like the music of someone, definitely don't go out and harass the person or do something like that or say you suck at their concerts. That's just don't do that, bro. That's just wrong because someone can be a someone can make great music, be a horrible, horrible person. I wouldn't ever want to attend the concert of someone like Varg Vikernes or Burzum because he's an awful racist Nazi piece of shit. I would never want to go to Burzum's concert, but he's a talented guy. I just would never because he's just an evil, 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 terrible person. But there are musicians that don't make good music that are really, really great people. And I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if that's relevant in anything, but you can like the music and dislike the person, or you can dislike the music and like the person. Limp Bizkit and the Smiths. I love the Smiths personally. I think the Smiths are really, really great personally, but that's okay if you don't like them. That's fine. Limp Bizkit, I can see that. I think Limp Bizkit's very much a hated group. I can definitely see why people hate them. I don't think Limp Bizkit is that bad personally. I think their album Significant Other is pretty good. I mean, not pretty good. I think it's decent. It's pretty decent. I think. I thought the album they did last year was okay. But that's just me though. I don't know. I don't hate Limp Bizkit. They're fine. I think they have some really really catchy and fun songs though. I think. But the Smiths, I think, is great. Smiths, in my eyes, was a classic group in the jangle pop genre, and I think Morrissey, even though he's not really the best person, uh, he's kind of a has some pretty really questionable views that I don't agree with. I mean, he's just I don't know. Like I know he's very very conservative, and that's not really there's nothing wrong with being a conservative or whatever. But he's just said some stuff in the past that can be deemed racist and all this stuff, and I don't agree with that. But I think he has a great voice, and I think he's a great songwriter, personally. But I haven't really deep dug too deep into the Morrissey rabbit hole. It's kind of weird that he'd say stuff like that because he's also bisexual, I think. But yeah, I don't know. Any other groups or musicians, or is that kind of about it? I don't hate Limp Bizkit. It's just rap metal is not my thing. Do you like Rage Against the Machine at least? Because I love Rage Against the Machine. They're one of my favorite metal bands. Do you at least like them? I mean, I can understand not liking rap metal. I get that. But I mean, even if you don't like Rage Against the Machine, that's fine. But I absolutely adore Rage Against the Machine. I've just been getting into them a lot more lately. I think they're amazing. Like their self-titled album is one of the best metal albums I've ever listened to. But it's kind of interesting because rap metal as a genre, there's a lot of groups that it's rare for a rap metal band in my eyes to be good. There are a handful of rap metal bands that are good, but they don't ever come anywhere near the absolute gold that Rage Against the Machine is. Don't come anywhere near. But there is one other rap metal group I like from the UK. I'm trying to remember the name of them. Let me see. But heard about Rage. I think I could listen to them. Yeah, they're really, really great. Rage Against the Machine is absolutely incredible. You should definitely check them out. Rage Against the Machine is absolutely amazing. Their first album, their self-titled one, that one's their best. And then Battle of Los Angeles is really good too. And Evil Empire is pretty good, but I don't think it's as good as their as Battle of Los Angeles or their self-titled. Their self-titled is by far their best in my eyes. Oh, it's called the group's called Censor, and they're from the UK. They have an album called Stacked Up. I thought was pretty good. But yeah, definitely check out Rage Against the Machine. Check out their first album. That album, Evil Empire, even though I said it isn't as good as Bulls as Battle of Los Angeles or their self-titled one. It has one of their best songs on it called "Bulls on Parade," which is in the Guitar Hero 3 soundtrack. So if you ever played that game, you probably heard that song from it. Mm-hmm. Let me know what you think about them in the next stream, by the way. Also, by the way, their music's very, very political. I don't know if that bothers you at all. Um, their music's very, very influenced by left wing and also arguably far left politics. I think all the members are socialists, which I don't agree with far left politics, but I mean, there's some stuff they say that I agree with just because I consider myself to be a leftist. But Oh, you do? You know that? Oh. But it's kind of interesting because, like, there's actually I have an uncle, my dad's brother, and most people on my family side are Republicans. Which there isn't anything wrong with being Republicans at all. I mean, I feel you can believe whatever you want as long as it's not something extreme. That's the only thing I would have a problem with. If it's something really hateful, then obviously I would be against that. But otherwise, I feel like you can believe whatever you want. But my uncle is very, very Republican, and arguably he's very conspiratorial. He falls for stuff very, very easily. Will believe things very easily if it falls within his side. But he loves Rage Against the Machine, and that's interesting because the politics in Rage Against the Machine are completely against what he believes, which I think is interesting. But I got you, man. That's fine. But yeah, their music's really good. Even if you can just ignore the political stuff, if that's not your thing, their music's still great. Really great. But I think a lot of people who are fans of them and just probably don't really understand the lyrics that they sing, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, no. And what's actually interesting is them being socialists, they technically went against their ideology by selling to a label and selling records because that's actually giving in to capitalism, which is what they would normally be against. Which I don't know, I think is kind of interesting, but I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I don't know. That's kind of an interesting thing someone brought up, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess that is true. All right, well, I'm gonna have to leave pretty soon, Rudy. Um, see, but it was really, really, really great talking to you. I always enjoy talking to you, man. I always enjoy it when I have you on the stream and anyone, but I really like talking to you. I think you're a really, really cool guy, Rudy. Um, and I mean everyone. I always enjoyed if someone's on the stream and I get to talk to them. It's always fun for me. I always like, yeah, you're welcome, Rudy. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna end it pretty soon. You know, one day if you'd like, maybe I can have you stream with me or something. I don't know, but I don't know if you'd want to do that. If you don't want to do that, it's fine. But maybe it's just a thought. But anyways, gonna head out, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.